Hey, what's going on YouTube? You already know what it is. It's your boy On Point and On the Grind, and today, man, I'm gonna really talk about the rap of the game, my opinion on the rap of the game, and my opinion on a lot of people calling them fake, especially from Los Angeles. But I'm gonna just get right into it. I first got introduced to the game, and like I would have to say, I want to say like 2002. You know what I'm saying? Because I was already a heavy G-Unit fan, but then they started mentioning game. So I heard about him in 2002. Then it was 2003. I started seeing him featured in a lot of videos. He was featured in a lot of videos. He ain't ever rapped on none of them, but he was featured in a lot. Because he was up and coming. I guess they still wanted to see what he had to do before he was able to, be more official with it. But yeah, he was signed to G-Unit, and basically, I know like in 2003, or I think in the beginning of 2004 or late 2003, he released his first single, and it was off the documentary. His first single was How We Do with 50 Cent. And, I really loved the song. I'm like, okay, this song's tight. I said, okay, let's see what he got. Then it was Hated or Love It he came out with. Then it was the Doctor's Advocate. No, not Doctor's Advocate. It was Hated or Love It and Their Dreams. I'm like, damn, these songs is really dope. I like the lyrics and everything. So I told myself, I'm like, damn, I got to go buy this album. And that's what I did. I went and bought the album. I love the album. I can go from the beginning all the way to end. The first track, West Side, it had 50 Cent featured on the hook. Yo, when I first put the CD in, it's like the first track, the beat was knocking. It just automatically had me. I remember I used to be in the kitchen, man, just be jamming, man. We make me something to eat. I be jamming and shit. I'm like, damn, but every song I liked it, and I actually liked it. I was still big on G-Unit and 50 Cent, but I actually thought that the Game's documentary was way better than 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying. The Game, it was really music that I could really get into. So I was always going around the house just listening to it. I could listen to it when I was riding my bike on my MP3 player, doing whatever. I could always just jam to it. He just had deep music and said real shit, And I ain't see nobody in G-Unit or 50 Cent with that potential, but I was still in denial because I'm all about, it's all about G-Unit, G-Unit. Then he put out 300 bars, and I really started to see the Game's potential, And then he's putting out a lot of mixtapes and stuff. But I didn't catch all those mixtapes and all the other songs he did until late after I really started to officially become a Game fan and really would say that he's my favorite rapper. But 2006, I was in Buffalo, New York, my hometown. It was me and my cousin. We was roommating together. We was staying with this girl or whatever, whatnot. I was out looking for a job. So I was walking down the street, and me and my cousin's friend, Eddie, he burnt me the Game's CD. It was called the Doctor's Advocate. And on the way, leaving from my house, on the way walking, all the way, I was filling out job applications. On the way walking, and then coming back, I listened to the whole album, and I just fell in love with it, from the beginning to end. It's one of those albums you can hear from beginning to end. It was just like, damn, wow, this guy really has potential. The first album, the first track was knocking. The first track on the album was knocking. It was The Doctor's Advocate. And I just fell in love with that album, and ever since then, man, he's been my favorite rapper. I've been supporting Game for a long time, still to this day. And, after The Doctor's Advocate, LAX album, loved it. You know what I'm saying? To this day, man, I still bump those 3 albums the most out of any other album you could think of. Jay-Z and Nas were cool, man, but I just like the Game, man. There's just something about him. You know what I'm saying? So I've been bumping him for a very long time now. I just like his songs a lot. And there's nothing nobody can ever tell me. But, I want to talk about something else. I noticed that, I seen the documentary DVD that he put out when he was going through Cedar Block and just Compton and everything. And he was speaking on his lifestyle, how he came up. And a lot of stuff really started to get thrown out there. Big Face, 100, and the Game had a falling out because Game, he claimed that Big Face extorted him out some money. And I think like in 2007, I think the beginning of 2007 or late 2006, he came out with something. He was explaining that, people, because he's from Cedar Block, Peru, he was saying that a lot of his people, his gang, his old neighborhood, his old hood, was taking advantage of him. You know what I'm saying? They were taking advantage of him, trying to get more out of him than what they needed. And he said he had a falling out with Big Face the rapper. He claims that Big Face tried to cheat him out of some money or something like that, and he had a falling out. And I just took it and ran with it. You know, people was calling him fake and saying this, and I heard the game. He addressed it off of One Night, which is one of my favorite songs of all time because it was just so deep, and I just took it and ran with it. I figured that's what it was, and then other cats started talking. Big Face was saying that's not the case. Game was never a gangster and this and that. Oh, he never spent this much money on them and all this other stuff. And he came out with a DVD called Ain't No Game. I seen the trailer for it on YouTube. But, you know, to be honest with you, I never really, how could I put it? I seen the trailer of it on YouTube, but I never really got a chance to buy, you know, the whole DVD. But a lot of people was talking bad about him. You know, bad mouthing him, saying he was really fake. It had Razzcast on there. Certain people from the Black Wall Street camp. Well, the game, he owns Black Wall Street, but certain people from the camp that, you know, from his old hood. But everybody from his hood wasn't even speaking on it. So it was just certain people. But Big Face, he spoke on it. A dude named Young Dre, he from Kitchen Crips. He's a rapper from Los Angeles. Other people were speaking on it. A lot of people were speaking on him. Dude, Snoopy Blue. A few Crips that was signed with G-Unit. They was just bad mouthing him and everything. And I was just like, you know, whatever. I ain't paying no attention to. He's still my favorite rapper and everything. And then I just realized that, you know, a lot of people I talked to, they said that the game is a studio gangster. He never really lived that lifestyle. And just a lot of things, you know. And, you know, that may be true and everything, but maybe he never really lived that lifestyle, you know, really out there gang banging, just doing his thing. And that may be true, and I respect that. But still, you can't take the fact from him that he's a good rapper. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see Dr. Dre sign none of these other motherfuckers. Obviously, Dr. Dre saw something in the game that he didn't see in nobody else. It's obvious, you know what I'm saying? Why he didn't sign these other people that's bad mouthing? I don't see the game in his camp being signed or nothing like that. Or, you know, just a lot of other people that be talking bad about him. You know, he put the West Coast back on the map. When he first came out with the documentary and had that, you know, he just brought something different to the table. He was one of those rappers that a lot of other rappers in other regions knew about because he was just raping mixtapes like crazy and just being featured with everybody, was fuck with everybody. He really brought that to the table. No other rapper was known like that outside of California that was associating with a lot of rappers from other regions and making songs with them and them shits being raw. You know, he came out with songs like 100 bars, 200 bars, and just was killing it, man. Holding his own with lyrical rappers from New York, East Coast, going, you know, other rappers in Cali really wasn't doing it like that. You know, he put the West Coast back on the map. I don't see nobody else that came from the West Coast that since nobody else has sold numbers like the game as far as record sales. And you know, besides somebody probably like E40 and Snoop Dogg, but even Snoop Dogg's not even selling major records like that, like he used to. So, you know, I don't understand why everybody got all this hate. They should support him. You know, they say he's not giving back to the community and all this other bullshit. You know, I feel he doesn't owe them nothing, man. He need to take care of his sons, his baby moms, his pops, and his mother, man. He don't owe nobody else shit. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, he was spending money on them. You know, when he did that Stop Stitcher, Stop Lying, he said, you know, you know, one time he's like, I don't got no money. I spent all my money on my niggas. And I believe it. I believe he was breaking bread with them and feeding them niggas. You know? I believe it, man. I mean, if anybody would ever think that, some people think it's bullshit when you're a rapper and you have a falling out with your old crew. But that shit's possible. That shit really can happen. And I believe that's what happened. I believe people wanted more out of him than what he was willing to give out. You know what I'm saying? And people may disagree with that and say, oh, that's bullshit, man. He just ain't a street nigga. No, I believe he is a hood nigga. He maybe wasn't out there gang banging seriously like, you know, one of those motherfuckers that was busting his gun and constantly knocking motherfucking heads off. But he was a blood and he sold weed and shit like that. But you don't hear nothing about him being punked or being a bitch. You don't hear anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So really, what can you really say about him? You know what I'm saying? What can you say about him? He's nice lyrically. He won all his rap beefs. He battled the whole G-Unit. Everybody he ever had beef with, as far as rap battles and shit like that, and just competing in the industry, he killed them. You know what I'm saying? So really, what can people say about him? You know? When it was time to stand up with Sean Bell, he got shot 50 times. Over 50 times. He was the only rapper that was willing to stand up and made a song called 911 is a Joke against the police, taking shots at the police. No other rapper was willing to do that. But he said everybody's so quick to say, oh yeah, I'll shoot this nigga and do this, but when it's really trying to stand up and do something, nobody wants to do it. And he was the only one that did that. So that, to me, that's hard. When Michael Jackson died, he did a song about it, man. That shit was deep. I forgot what you call it, but the song he did with Michael Jackson, I'm gonna put that in the link description box in a song for Sean Bell. Nobody else stood up like that. It was The Game. He came out with a song. It was a tribute to Michael Jackson. You know, every time he's trying to stand up and do something real and speak real shit, he's doing it. I don't see nobody else doing it. So I don't care what nobody say. Nobody could ever call him fake. He may not really been out there in the streets like that, and maybe he probably was wrong because a few times he portrayed that he was really out there living that lifestyle. But whatever. And I can see why people mad because he's not giving back to the community. I seen mad people on DVDs talking about him, saying he's a bitch and this and that. He ain't in the. Who gives a fuck, man? You know what I'm saying? The man, he can take care of his family. He got to take care of himself. He made it out the hood. The rest of y'all niggas got to make it out the hood. You know, I had a lot of people tell me he ain't really live that lifestyle. I don't give a fuck. He's a good rapper, man. He's a real down-to-earth person. You know what I'm saying? So I don't entertain none of this other bullshit that these cats is talking. You know what I'm saying? But that's really what it is, man. If I was him, I wouldn't be giving a flying fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'd take care of my family, enjoying my money, man, and thanking God that he got me to where I need to be, man. You know, it's obviously Dr. Dre. He saw something special in him, and Dr. Dre's a legend. He saw something special with him. He didn't see nothing special in anybody else, so. You know, he saw something special and he worked hard for his shit. Yeah, it was unfortunately that he had that you know, it was unfortunate that, yeah, he wasn't out there for a long time searching for a deal. He got his deal quick. Some people complaining like he just had his shit handed to him. But yeah, he was just really talented like that and that dope. And that noticeable to where Dre's like, I gotta sign this cat. And Dr. Dre is a very, you know, he's a hip-hop legend in the West Coast. And a hip-hop legend through music in general. So what can anybody say? I don't see him signing none of them. Obviously, he must not see nothing of y'all. DJ Quick, he even said, they said, a lot of people, why he ain't signing none of y'all motherfuckers or giving y'all handouts? It's obviously he's not seeing anything. You know what I'm saying? A lot of West Coast rappers have talent, man, but they just not being put on. But people need to pay homage, man, because he the one that put the foot in the door for that after Snoop. It was still relevant. He was one of them, you know, next up and coming is J-Rock. But other than that, it's not too many rappers. If that's the case, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, and DJ Quick would have took notice to sign these cats and really try to get this shit promoted more. And there's other upcoming rappers. I ain't trying to shit on California rappers and say, oh, y'all whack, man. But I think y'all need to pay homage, man, and will be happy to be on the record with Game and respect him, man, because he gave West Coast recognition again that there's still dope rappers in California. That's the whole motherfucking point. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I gotta say, man. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, man. The Game my favorite rapper, and that's just what it is, man. That's what it is. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Peace.